Welcome to another episode of Gavilan Garage. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on a 2008 Scion TC. We're also going to be diagnosing a weird sound at startup. And then as you initially start driving, it literally just sounds like there's a ratchet going off somewhere under the car. And eventually once the car is warmed up, you've driven it for a couple of miles, it goes completely away. And so it's just baffling. So we're going to take a look at that and see if we can discover what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and jack up the car real quick and stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and just open the filler cap, pop this out to get some airflow. We also have this fancy creeper. I had to put on my gloves to protect my manicure, but we're going to be using a 14mm socket, 1/2-inch drive ratchet, and we're going to go take you underneath the car. So it looks like it's got a little bit of an oil leak. Okay, that is quite interesting. And is that oil from the engine? Make sure you write the mileage on there. Alright, so we're gonna start with the oil filter here. Jeez, whoever put this on last. I actually had to go get my filter pliers, and let's see how this works. Okay. And before anybody says anything here, I totally forgot my paper towels, and this is some brown packing paper that I found at Arm's Reach, and I'm just trying to clean the surface here from all the oil before I put the new filter on. So it is what it is. I also struggled with the bolt here. I thought it was going to be really easy to back out, but you can see it kind of went in and out, and I eventually had to rely back on the ratchet before it was completely loose and drain the oil pan. Alright guys, as that finishes draining there, I'm going to go ahead and prep the oil filter. We're going to be using Toyota oil filter. And at the bottom, I'm going to write the mileage so I know when we last changed it. Okay, so the mileage right now says 164,648. This is a rebuilt engine thanks to Toyota and their oil consumption issue. So 164,468. Made a slight mistake here. 164,648. Hopefully that stays on, and the next guy can read it. We also noticed there's an oil leak coming from the axle. The axle actually needs to be replaced, and you guys can see right there the axle is fully, or the boot is ruptured, all the grease is out, so we're gonna need to replace that soon. That could be the reason why It makes such a nasty sound when it starts up. The grease looks to also be going over here in the oil pan, so definitely need to get that fixed. Alright, so I'm just gonna chill here until the oil fully drains. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and change the cabin air filter and the engine air filters, also using Toyota parts. This is your part number, and we're just gonna pull these two pins here. Pop this up. Get the old one out. Actually, pretty dirty. Look at it. It's probably got bugs. Okay. There's an arrow indicating the airflow, and the airflow goes that way. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the same way as the airflow. We're then going to make sure these tabs align. There's one there, and there's one somewhere down there. Okay. Tab it over and tab it over. Alright, and we're good to go. We're also going to be changing the cabin air filter. I'm going to push in this tab here, and I'm going to push in this tab here at the same time. There's one. Come on, it's not one, is it? I need both. And there it is. We're then going to reach in here. And we're going to bring this out. And yikes, that is very dirty. Okay, as you can see, this air filter is extremely dirty. We have leaves. Here's the new one. And I'm just gonna pull this out. Like so. Oops. Go up. Figure it out. There's a new one. And then just as we pull this out, this goes straight back in this slot, like if you're inserting a VHS cassette. And once you have inserted the cassette player, you want to ensure that this little guy here extends out and connects here, and then you just push these tabs in. Got one, got two, and you're all set. More packing paper cleaning action for your enjoyment. Just a reminder to tighten your oil filter by hand. You don't want to use a wrench, or otherwise you're going to damage it or puncture a hole in it. And also you don't want to over tighten it so that it's impossible to take out the next time. So this particular card takes 4 quarts of oil. We're using Pennzoil 5W30 full synthetic, and we're using this cheap Harbor Freight funnel just so that we don't make a mess. Good. Okay, so that pretty much is it. I'm just gonna turn the car on, run it for a minute, check the oil level, and I'm gonna record underneath so you guys can hear the sound that it makes when it starts, which is what we need to troubleshoot. So I realized I didn't record an outro. Thank you so much for watching if you've gotten to this point. But that wraps up the oil change on the 2008 Scion TC. The axle will be a different video. And also the sound at startup. You can't really hear it. It's very significant inside of the car. So we'll make a video of its own later. Thank you so much for watching Gavilan Garage, where we don't know anything, but we'll fix everything.